going to be a really quick video discussing Archons and just some connections to the Bible and historical figures, genocide, and how they influence you. So this is by no means any kind of blueprint or the other works I'm working on in terms of Archons, but this is a tidbit we all need to hear, and that is Archons take forms which we cannot perceive or know. They exist in the ether around us. Okay, we perceive 0.01% of the light spectrum, my friends. There's a lot more going on around us that we cannot see. And basically how they subtly influence all of us, and even taking control of any fracture within the being, within the awareness, right? So wherever you have darkness, unconsciousness that is not transmuted, right? That is a opening for another entity to reside within your vehicle. Getting straight to the point here of this talk, and that is in the Bible. I forget which part exactly, but it had to do with Paul and Jesus, and referring to when Jesus would come and speak to you, right? He made it very, very clear and very firm that he would never appear. He would never speak to you without appearing in form. He would never be some kind of grand voice from the sky, like a booming shout, or be speaking to you and only you can hear it, right? Oh, that's Jesus is speaking to me. And I'm making this video because a lot of people who channel entities, who hear voices, beware and be warned. There is dark forces essentially kind of ruling and residing on this planet. So be very, very, very careful on who you're talking to, right? I don't channel anybody except myself, okay? I don't speak to entities, and if one did, I would raise up my shields of light and fire so strong, right? I would center myself straight into the heart and bring up my awareness, blast my full spirit into body, and light up all the fields around me with my consciousness, right? Because that light is so blinding that nothing else could enter it. This is your power, my friends. And build that power. That's why I go so deep into meditations and awareness, and disciplining the mind and the focus, and expanding awareness, expanding perception, right? So that you carry more light with you. You've transmuted more darkness within, right? And you're more whole. So you have less fractures for other things to enter. But I'm going to give you an example. A couple examples. Many leaders who led genocides in the past, like Hitler, right, claim to be spoken to by a god, a different entity, right? And also this happened with the Aztecs. I forget the leaders' names, they're hard to say, but also they started doing blood sacrifices, like 10,000 blood sacrifices of different surrounding warring tribes, right? And they were being spoken to by a formless voice, a disembodied voice, my friends. And we're living in the time where the disembodied are walking among us, okay? So this is why I would urge you to stay away from channeling anything beyond seeking wisdom, seeking knowledge, seeking understanding, right? And going within to learn and develop. Realize that Jesus and Thoth both said, right? If a voice is speaking to you, beware, okay, my friends? That, by all odds, is not someone who's speaking to you for your best interest. The only reason that a god, right, a god would come down here and like pay attention to this one individual is because that god, so-called, needs your power. You got to realize this. The Archons need us for power. And if you don't know anything about the Archons and all this stuff, go do some research, right? I'm going to make more of a blueprint style video for this, but realize the Archons, or these energetic parasites, right? These different entities and negative entities that attach themselves to our many bodies throughout, like our energetic fields, right? They nuzzle themselves in there and subtly influence us, right? Subtly gain control. And then another key point is you got to ask yourself, what are you operating for? What are you living for? What are you operating on? What is your prime motive? What is driving you in life? You got to really ask yourself this and be very honest, be very truthful, right? And if change needs to occur, that truth is going to hurt to see. But you got to see what you're living for. What is your prime motive? Is it money? Is it greed? Is it getting ahead? Are you a black hole? Are you all about, getting your needs met, getting that abundance, right? And that comfort, life of comfort. I'm sorry, my friends, life of comfort is the life of death. It is the way of death. We are here to strive, to allow our seed of divinity to blossom within us, to transmute darkness into light and become one with the light, the sun state. This is the purpose and essence and being of man. Okay? This is an instructional facility. You don't give a 2-year-old a gun. And God forbid you give that 2-year-old, the launch codes to all the nuclear bombs in the world. You got to realize your power. Realize this, right? And take back that. Stop externalizing it. Stop externalizing it to channeling, to voices, to these energies that overwhelm you. Yes, you can channel good energies, and I'm going to leave that up to you and your inner guidance on what kind of work you're doing there. But just be warned and beware that there's many things operating in the unseen realms that are beyond the knowledge and exist in forms unknown to man, okay? They influence thought and emotion very subtly, and they gain control wherever you are fractured, wherever you have darkness or are separate from self, okay? The true self, we must understand this idea, the true self, you are seeking to align with it. The more friction and suffering and pain and disconnection you feel in your life is just a sign and notification of this dissimilarity between who your ego thinks you are and who your true self is. So seek to align with the true self. The true self is divine intelligence guided by love. Okay, that's kind of how I see it. And this is deep knowing. So, the last point I want to leave you guys with. Fear is the power of darkness. The brothers of darkness in this ever-warring battle between the forces of light and the forces of darkness, just like some kind of medieval movie, right? My friends, the forces of darkness, their power is fear. You know why? Because they don't have what you got. Okay? You have something within you, and they want to keep you ignorant of that so that they can keep feeding and harvesting that and using it for their own means. Okay? Realize that fear is always a lack of understanding, knowing, and trust. Okay? I made a video, one of my first videos I ever made. The opposite of fear is knowing and trust. Right? How come a professional skateboarder, when he drops in that 12-foot ramp, right? He does it without a single thought. It's because he has knowing of that big-ass drop that's going to come. He trusts the concrete and the board under his feet. He has a knowing of what it feels like, right? And he trusts the action and the movement. He trusts himself, and he trusts the universe to stay constant because all is law. You see, my friends, if I went up there and tried to drop that 12-foot ramp on a skateboard, I'd be scared shitless. I would be scared out of my mind. And it's because I do not have that knowing or trust. Okay? So realize that we need to keep our eyes ever turned towards the light, keep walking the straight and narrow through the fields of darkness, right? Ever growing and building ourselves brighter and brighter as our consciousness aligns with the true self as we come into our power. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Fear is the power of darkness. So what they seek to do is make you scared of them. These Archons, all these different things that we can't see, it's scary as fuck, I know, right? But if you can face that, but be grounded so deep into your power, right? Get one with the self, know thyself, seek to understand thyself, and seek to understand the ways of the Supreme Spirit, of the Divine Creator, right? And see that aspect within you, and harness that. Harness those aspects, those gifts that we have been given from above, those gifts of love, those gifts of divine intelligence, understanding, right, and will. So harness your power. Realize if you are scared, if things are making you uncomfortable, right, that you need to ground yourself into your light. Throw out your arsenal, your awareness, and fill it completely. This almost leads into another video I need to make on the suppression and nullification of mankind, so we no longer have awareness and perception of what's going on within and without. And furthermore, if you've been watching my videos about disciplining the mind, I've realized that's the second gateway. We no longer have awareness. We no longer feel what's going on, so things can enter and reside within us, because the Lord of Hosts rules this world. The Lord of Hosts. You can be a host for yourself or for someone else. Who's residing in your body? Who's driving your avatar? How many beings exist within your one vehicle? That is a question you must ask yourself. Okay? And don't be scared when you see the answer. Right? Seek to overcome. Have the courage and have the strength to overcome it, and you will grow so much stronger and brighter. The Hopi prophecy also talks about what I just said there, so go check out that too. The Blue Star Kachina prophecy is kind of cool. Anyway, that's a quick dialogue on the Archons, on this fact that how they've influenced genocide and these totalitarian dictators in the past, and that's just a very small example of the veil they have cast over this world. And realize that you have all the power. Get that power back. Seek to become one with the self. Seek your own path. And you can cast out demons, you can cast out Archons, you can cast out all those parasites with the bat of your eye and a damn smile, because you're shining so damn bright. You shine light over the whole world, and that's where we're headed. Keep rising, my friends. We are spaceborne. We rising up. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please hit that subscribe button and go check out my Patreon. I'm going to be dropping a few more higher level and deep conversations on the darkness around us and the darkness out here that I don't think I'm going to put on my channel, because it would cause too many fractures and rifts for a lot of people that just kind of stumble upon it. I don't seek to create any more darkness, but those who have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, go check out my Patreon. I have a ton of free content on there anyway, so a lot of good stuff for activating your light, getting one with the light, just growing your power. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is Reality Files. I'm Dmitrius. For God's sakes, hit that little bell next to the subscribe button, because you got no idea what's coming. Stay up to date. See you guys next time. Peace and love.